Will we succeed? Followed by it rolling only bad dice. It was very amusing.
As
No.
the DM, I'm here for this content. Hello and welcome to Pack Tactics. This is a 5th edition homebrewed Dungeons & Dragons campaign up until the OGL changes. We'll see about that. In that case, it might be Cobalt in Space, the game. But who knows?
We'll find out.
I'll be your GM for the evening. My name is Spartacus. With me tonight are a bunch of awesome people, including Spartacus, and Spartacus. Also known as Beth, Ellie, Eo, and Jen. And
Don't tell them.
you heard nothing. These are not the players you're looking for. These are not the kobolds you're looking for. But what happened last time?
We fought something that we would have really liked to have hand-waved and said we are not the kobolds you're looking for on a flying ship.
I think I tried to lecture an angel or a golem or something.
Pretty sure it was a golem.
Yeah.
Remember.
An angel golem.
Was I here for that? I don't even remember.
Yes.
It was?
I think-
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
It was over a month today because holidays and illnesses.
Oh, there we go. Okay, got it.
And we fought it on the flying ship, and there was... And Sori got given a thing where it had disadvantage if it attacked her, so she wasn't going to do any attacking. She was just going to be a support class, like a proper cleric.
Everyone knows proper clerics aren't healing classes.
They do?
Where do you get these
You mean
strange ideas?
World of
People with healing
Warcraft?
spells need to heal?
World of
No.
Warcraft? Pickup games?
No, priests in World of Warcraft are all shadow priests. That's how it works.
Well, that's because the other priests weren't very useful during the Wrath of the Lich King, and Druid was absolutely great. I learned how to... Yeah, I learned how to... Yeah, well...
Anyway, if we switch IP, we will not be switching to role-playing World of Warcraft.
No,
Although,
definitely not.
they did have an OGL licensed version of World of Warcraft as a role-playing game.
I feel like switching to World of Warcraft would be going from one company behaving badly to here's another company that is also behaving badly.
Yes, but one of them hires more union-busting lawyers. So, oh wait, we'd be moving to that one. Moving forward. We're always crab walking sideways in
And
that
not
direction,
crossing
which is
the
now forward.
line!
So the flying ship that got you out of High Temple looked like a giant horned lizard, which immediately had people thinking that it was either Thrask, well, that was the GM thinking that, or something that had to do with kobolds, which you were absolutely right. You met a kobot who doesn't look like a kobold. They actually look like an elf, named 1024-00006295. But
C-3PO.
But apparently there's someone who calls them 95. They don't understand why, because there's others that end with 95 in their cohort, but okay, whatever.
Look, we're kobolds. We're used to having a limited number of names.
Used to having only 20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Having 95 is huge here.
And
I
wait until you...
suppose it might in fact have been more efficient to have a Kep 1 and a Kep 2 and a Kep 3 and a Kep 4 and a Kep 5. Yeah, Long Kep thinks this is funny in the weird way Long Kep thinks anything's funny. They're not going to stop doing this.
The only problem is after Kep 98, you had Kep NT and then Kep Vista, and things just got more confusing after that. Then you recycled Kep 10 again. But Kep 10 was still alive because kobolds can live like 200 years. So there were just two Kep 10s walking around.
It's a lot of Keps.
It's a lot of Keps.
Well, then you have young Kep and old Kep. Well, young Kep 10 and old Kep 10.
Well, but I'm assuming we're doing like Kep 1, Kep 2, et cetera, Kep 8, Kep 9, Kep A, Kep B, Kep C. And then it's when you get to Kep F, then Kep 10.
Right. Makes sense.
I appreciate that this is us doing the recap right now.
Yep.
Some might think that when I say that I'm being sarcastic. No, honestly, I am enjoying this immensely.
Because we're nuts.
Well, something like that.
You know, we have got to make sure that Longkep gets control of a ship someday so that we can call them Captain.
I do not believe that that would be a good idea. If I sat on... Okay, the player is blanking on what they're called.
Helm.
If I sat on a helm, I would no longer be able to cast any spells that day.
But that's the pilot, not the captain.
True.
Look at me. Kep's the captain now.
I am not
Anyway,
averse to this turn of events. I think I have a very sensible and rational style of leadership.
tiniest Kep is placed on the helm.
No, Tiniest Cup does not have spell slots.
Did I say tiniest Kep was piloting, or did I say tiniest Kep is placed on the helm?
Why would you place it on the helm if it is not? I do not understand the purpose of this.
So it can
We should get
pretend.
back to the recap.
Instead of, well, we were talking about kobolds in space, so obviously this is Kobold Trek.
As far as
Anyway.
I'm concerned, that conversation was canon once. At some point, it happened. Because let me believe that conversation took place. Anyway, 95 was sent to come and get you, but you kept hanging out with humans. So 95 couldn't go and get you because you were with humans. But then you went into High Temple where there were even more humans.
Mhm.
But fortunately, you caused a slight distraction,
Little one.
which allowed 95 to rescue you and take you back to 95's cohort. The cohort's number is 1024. Each Cobot's designation starts off with a 4-digit number. That is the number of the cohort, and then everything after that is their individual number.
Neat.
Yes. I may have actually thought of a system. Granted, I might have COVID brain, so maybe the system is not working properly, but we're going to pretend.
But do you have Cobot brain?
No, that would be
That'd
more
be-
logical.
Yeah.
And right at the end of the session, you were reintroduced to kobolds, not cobots, that you thought had died. Not Sniv. Sniv is physics. But you
You
did
do
meet...
keep reiterating that.
Well, because I really think the way that Beth decided to say Sniv is physics is funny.
But is Sniff energy being now?
No,
Trat.
physics.
Yeah.
Particles of light, possibly some tachyons. In any case, you met Molo and Ertos, Molo the Swobold and Ertos the Kobold inventor turned Kobold artificer, although I've been told that I'm pronouncing artificer wrong. So far as I know, Ertos calls it artificer. Ertos thinks that gopher-based spacesuits can be viable. So take that with a grain of salt.
Still pronounce it artificer.
There we go.
Sometimes artificer. And sometimes it's just, hey, I'm the one who knows that you shouldn't plug that in that way.
But it fits! All I had to do was cut off the safety cable. Why are you all
Phys-
staring at me?
Because you have to keep the safety cable on.
I don't understand the statement.
OSHA.
Bless you.
Thank
OSHA.
you. Kosha. Kobold occupational whatever.
And the thing is, you might not fear Kosha if you're a kobold until you realize that Kosha is headed up by Zeely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when things set in.
Dear Kosha.
Exactly. As Eo has written in chat.
Kosha.
Yeah, Kosha,
aka
aka my mom will yell at you. As specifically stated by Chroma.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
She will.
It's one of the few mothers in Circulus who gets to say, I brought you into this world and I can take you back out again, and mean it literally. Also the reverse of that.
Yeah. And to a rather a lot of people, not including Chroma, because she did not actually bring Chroma into this world.
That's true. Chroma was always only
Adopted.
a little eggling. Yeah. And did not have to be resurrected.
And we're off track again.
Cogbucket technically kind of sort of brought Chroma into the world because Cogbucket was there when Chroma hatched, and also Bitey, and also many
Right.
others. But in any case, again, not moving forward, but crab walking sideways. To recap things that did not happen in the last session. Yes, that is the sentence I just said. Ertos has been working on building a new helm because you may have realized when you were escorted through, there was a hangar of angel ships in this cave system that you're in right now. It's a full hangar of incomplete, unworkable angel ships.
But that just means parts.
No, they're fully assembled except for the helm. We kind of don't have any of those.
Hey.
So I'm working on one.
I have the utmost faith that you will figure it out.
Eventually.
Molo agrees emphatically. Ertos is not as confident. I've got the aesthetics down, and we've made some improvements in the comfiness. The cushion's a bit more springy. I think that's really going to help in the long term. But there's just one problem. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Why?
Well, we've managed to recreate all of the parts of the helm that involve it being a thing you sit in.
Uh-huh.
We haven't recreated any of the parts that make the helm fly a spaceship.
That is the problem.
Is that due to a lack of resources or a lack of understanding of the Arcana, or both?
Yes.
So, both.
I think that was one of the choices you said. Yes.
Okay.
You'll have to. My brain is deep in the weeds here. I've been working on it for a while, and I helped build helms back on Circulus. I helped make a few, but I was just kind of a trainee back then, so I haven't really worked out all the bugs.
You know more than I do.
Yes. However, as we are, it seems, a ragtag band of adventurers, I believe the term is, I am given to understand that it is traditional that we go and get the things that the person building the vitally important object needs, whether that be resources or diagrams, or if such a thing still exists somewhere on this world in a hangar like this one, an intact helm. It is possible that there is some very old cobot that remembers how helms are made.
Now, 95 is still here for this conversation, and they interject at this point. Well, to be honest, that is quite likely. Many of the cohorts here were tasked with building angel ships. This particular cohort wasn't doing the individual construction of each part. This was for final assembly. Most of the parts were brought in from cohorts further down. The helms were shipped from a different location.
Can you point? Sorry.
I could, yes. That location has not responded in quite some time.
Is that perhaps the one that caved in that we were going to attempt to uncave in after we had ensured that we had contacted any survivors?
I have no idea.
Yes, that was mainly a question to my further party members.
Might be.
How far away was this cohort?
Longhead takes out their spell book and flips, because Longhead's spell book is also their notebook, to the page with the coordinates.
And also points at Dazab because Dazab made the map, if I recall.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were both writing random things down at the time. Yes, Dazab has a map.
I'm thrilled that this party has a cartographer, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you confer various things, and 95 is able to say, yes, I'm not familiar with that particular cohort. They might have been in charge of resource procurement. 1 second.
Deza?
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Is there a chance that if we were given information on where things were coming from, you might be able to find the likely cobot supply route?
Sure, I don't see why not.
Oh, there's no need to do that. We do have those coordinates. Your map
I was
is
not sure how much of your production capacity remained,
none.
but the routes do.
Well, the routes probably still exist. We previously sent couriers to the various locations that were giving us most of the parts we were assembling to let them know that they could pause production as the hangar was full. The only part that we were running low on to prevent us from completing the ships was the helm. And forgive me, I would add the location onto your map, but with the scale that you've been drawing, we would need to extend the paper to, and then 95 just walks away from you.
Oh boy, long trip.
Over here!
Wow, that's pretty fun.
And then they walk back.
How many days walking is that?
Quite a few.
You would probably not prefer to walk. It is not on this continent.
Well, that's a problem.
Do you get the supplies before, if it's not on this continent?
Perhaps via the same method that they acquired us.
Oh, no. All the
No?
cohorts are based under the surface. Flying ships were unheard of. It's one of the reasons I'm so thrilled to have met friend Ertos.
Job, Ertos.
I was helpful!
Very.
Oh, my lunch just fell in the helm. That's going to be a half-hour cleaning work.
Prestidigitation. Wait, I have that right? I need to check to
think
make
so.
sure Longcap has that.
Actually, I don't know.
If you don't,
Deza does?
yes.
Oh, good, I do.
Thank goodness. Now all I got to do is get another lunch. I'm on it. Thanks!
Oh, I mean, I'm on it. Sorry.
Don't sit on the other lunch.
You know what? That's canon. Look, you just put it on the ground here. Like, why don't we have a table? I used it for parts. Why don't we have another table? I used that one for parts too.
Mulder,
Oh, good. I can break this down for parts.
it is made out of dirt. What parts are you? It is
Look.
just a flat.
Look, mine is not to question why. Mine is just to harvest the dirt and try.
It is the same dirt that was here before. I do not think that you will gather any useful arcane residues from it. It was a cantrip.
Out of character, I would like to point out the fact that Longcap is talking to someone who believes that gopher-based spacesuits were viable up until the gophers unionized. Logic and reason do not necessarily apply here. In character, I'm loving this.
I'd like to point out that logic and reason are basically the only things Longcap is capable of operating on.
Which is why I'm loving conversations between Longcap and Ertos, to be very honest. It's like mixing oil and water and just shaking it up and saying, well, it looks like they mixed together. Nope, they settled out.
Oh, how did you get to the supply depots?
We didn't. They just sent in shipments by rail.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be quicker. Maybe.
Is the rail still working?
Probably. Well, maybe. We haven't had any couriers come back.
I guess we need to ragtag band of adventurer down there.
Yes, but you won't have to walk. We do have a transport we can send.
Is the
I think,
transport safe for people who are not made of metal?
Biologicals.
That's the word.
It does have fail-safes built in that do have it start to slow down if it detects blockages in the rail line.
How quickly does it slow down?
It detects them far enough ahead that you do not have a redistribution of mass.
We don't splat.
It was meant to carry delicate equipment. We prefer
Delicate
that it not
equipment.
splash.
I am delicate equipment, yes.
I would agree.
Good. I am glad we are in agreement here.
So who wants to go for a rail line?
Sure.
Okay.
You are all required
go.
to wear a fedora and carry a whip.
Yeah. All came prepared.
Ba-da-ba.
And as you're going down the line, there's also a bunch of orcs in the cart next to yours. that are making threatening gestures, but then their cart goes off a cliff. So
Yep.
it's fine. It's fine.
Splat.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. You said Kalima, and it melted away. I know.
I thought it caught on fire. Whatever.
That too. Bad things happen, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so you are taking. It's not technically a mine cart. For one thing, it's not 4 wheels attached to a box set on top of 2 rails. There's actually 5 rails. One of them is attached to the ceiling. You are assured that if any 2 rails were like removed for whatever reason, cave-ins or whatever, it would still be 100% functional. If only the top rail was still there, it would be a bumpier ride, but it would still work because gravity would be pulling it down. If only one of the bottom rails is there, then you've got a bit more of a problem and lots of sparks. But it does sense ahead on the track for enough of a distance that it can slow down. In theory, no one's ridden it for a little while.
Do we have a bunch of cushions we can stick on the front end?
Oh yeah, we've been sourcing those. They're prototypes from the Helm, so some of them are not as comfy as others.
Let's some of the ones that are at least shock absorbing.
Well, there's this one, and Ertos picks up what's essentially a beanbag chair that's twice the size of Ertos. I really liked it, but it was actually too comfy.
I can't take your favorite bed.
Oh, I could have been using it as a bed. That makes a lot more sense.
Why don't you keep it as a bed and we'll get some of the second choices?
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
Ertos immediately lays down on the beanbag chair and falls asleep.
Ertos must have needed a nap.
It's a very comfortable bed.
Okay, lots of pillows.
Fortunately for the plot, Molo does know where there are more cushions, so Molo goes and helps you out.
Excellent.
Yes.
Sorry, says thank you.
So you all have cushions, and there might be some padding the walls of the cart a bit more. I'm going to call it a cart for the sake of this, but not technically a cart. It's meant for storage and transport of multiple helms at a time. So it's quite roomy.
It's sort of a cargo car, subway train car.
Something like that, yes. Meant for going through a tube.
Whee!
Yes.
Like the fish? Like the fish going through the fish tube?
Possibly. You have also been assured that should a cave-in flood part of the tunnel, you would not drown. You could almost hear the asterisk in the sentence, but that is what you've been assured. And now, oh my gosh, Ellie. No, you will not be launched in a fish cannon. That GIF is almost hypnotic.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Zippy zip. Clatter, clatter. We do have air in this thing, right? We have air holes at the top?
You say that, and 95 processes for a moment and says, we will need to make a small adjustment.
Thank you.
If this is going underwater, we don't want air holes in the top.
We need something closable, but also we need air.
I was thinking more along the lines of a compressed air tank.
If it will last long enough, okay.
Well,
how long does this trip usually take?
Assuming no blockages on the track, if you're able to achieve maximum speed, perhaps a day.
Okay.
Is this a day's worth of air for everybody? Maybe a few air tanks?
If you end up needing this, it would probably be best for you to press the button to send yourself back the other way.
Okay, point.
Anyway, I shall get a compressed air tank. I'm sure it will not take too long to manufacture.
Okay, well, we can have a short rest, maybe?
Oh, you got a long rest.
That's what I figured. I just hit long rest just in case. There.
All right, so you are given all the supplies you need to take this trip. You've got the compressed air tank. You've got all the cushions you desire, possibly more cushions than you desire, possibly more cushions than you require. Ertos does not understand that statement.
Cushions are comfy.
And they are ready to send you off.
Hey, here we go.
In we go. Wave, wave.
Maury, Maury is awkwardly getting in the cart with you because Maury has pretty much nowhere else to go and doesn't want to just stay in the cave system with the weird robots.
It's fair.
But also, she has not been talking much recently. She's still not really coming to terms with what took place in High Temple.
Pretty reasonable.
Again, fair.
Sori goes pat on her hand a lot to try to help her feel better in ways that do not understand mammals, I'm sure.
Right. And you're all loaded in, and the button is pressed, and there's not a lot of controls. There's a button that has you go in one direction. There's a button that has you slow down and stop.
There's a button for the other direction.
There's a button that allows me to mute when I cough.
Ah.
And there's a button that has you go back the other way. There's a button to open the door. The button to open the door does not activate if you're moving.
Probably good.
Good.
Sip tea.
And that's
Crash.
pretty much it. What's that?
Sip some tea. You're coughing, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I don't think I have cure disease. I'll check.
But here's the thing. I'm negative for COVID. I don't have COVID right now. This
You have the cough.
This is a postnasal drip thing.
Ew.
Oh, okay.
And while it's usually not this bad, it's possible that all my recent experiences have aggravated this to make it worse. This always acts up when there's temperature changes.
Oh, okay.
And it's almost like the climate has changed in some way.
Funny that.
Yeah.
I don't have cure postnasal drip. I'm sorry. You'll have to make that a custom spell before the weird OGL maybe goes in.
So when you're going at speed, the acceleration is not so intense that you're like all pushed up against the side. That'd be a funny thing, but no, it's a delicate acceleration. But the support structures that are in the tunnel you're in, you no longer see them.
Do we have any vision, or is this completely closed in and dark?
You're kobolds. There's no need for a light source. You would be able to see them just fine, unless you're going past them so fast that they're just a blur.
We do have windows?
There are windows in it, yes.
Okay. Presumably so that any cobots riding along can see where they are and whatnot.
Well, there was the thought that they were going to send Molo. Ertos was considered too valuable to send, but Molo volunteered to try to go. But then you all showed up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And to be honest, Molo is a higher ranking kobold in the Circle of Tales. Molo's been around for a while. Molo's seen some things.
Mm-hmm.
Molo has therapy because Molo has seen some things. And to be honest, the rest of you are kind of new to the Circle of Tales, so you're a bit more expendable.
Also, we have the healers.
I mean, you also have healers, yes. Right.
So obviously we go. And we prove that we're useful to the clan and the extended clan beyond. Because that's what you do when you're new. I think Sori has issues.
Well, on your trip, after you hit what apparently is maximum speed, you do start to notice that you're angling down a bit more. And after about half a day of, we're at this angle and we're going at speed, and I spy with my little eye something that begins with a T. Is it a tunnel? Yes. All right. Your turn. I spy with my little eye something that begins with a C. Is it a cart? Yes. Okay.
F for floor. C for cushion.
You're starting to run out of games. You can only play so many rounds of 4-player solitaire.
Anybody got dice?
Also,
you're pretty sure.
Players.
What's that?
Oh, it's not 4 players. One Cap is just working on their spell book.
I'm not going to say...
Tiniest Cap is the 4th player.
Here you go.
I'm not going to say Tiniest Cap cheats. But there's a chance that Tiniest Cap does not understand that certain rules exist to make things fair, and the rules aren't, but if you don't get caught, it's fine.
That just makes it more exciting to try to catch little Tiniest Cap.
Tiniest Cap might be card counting.
Probably it. Yeah.
Technically, card counting is not cheating. You'll still get thrown out of the casino if they suspect it, but it's not technically against the rules. Anyway,
are you saying that Tiniest Cap has gambling skill?
No. Unless
just
it's funny.
Sleight of hand?
After about a half day, there's one moment of your very smooth ride where there's actually a very noticeable ka-thump.
Uh-oh, what was that?
What we hit?
Well, you're still
I don't
moving
know.
at speed.
We hit something. It's probably back there now.
Hope
I'm
we
gonna check
did.
out the front of the cart just to be sure.
It looks exactly the same as before.
Okay.
But after a few hours, you start to notice that you're angling more towards up instead of down.
This is good.
And right around the end, give or take a few hours of the full 24-hour travel, you start to notice that, oh yeah, we've definitely started slowing down. You didn't notice you were slowing down, but you've definitely started slowing down because you can sort of see the support structures going past you. And then you can definitely see the support structures going past you. And then you apparently see a small child throwing a dumbbell.
It's just a picture. That's just a magic picture.
Apparently so. And then it's obvious that you're starting to come to a stop.
Anything out
I guess
there?
we're there. I mean, sorry. I don't
I
know.
guess. Is there anything out there except like darkness?
Right now it's all darkness, but the light on the control panel that is currently flashing says track obstructed.
I hope there's enough room for us to get out.
There is. The way the tunnel was designed, the support structures for the rails stick out a ways. So if someone did need to travel down the tunnel, they would not immediately get crushed by a cart going through.
Like whatever went thump. Still kind of worried about that.
Well, you are on another continent. It
Yeah.
could have been a tectonic plate.
Oh, valid. Valid.
Maybe.
Or it could have been that NPC I was working on with that wonderful backstory.
Well, you're the one who put them in front of the carts, so this is not our fault.
Well, I already turned one NPC into light. This one is now a liquid.
This is not anything we did.
Now we need to petrify someone and set someone on fire.
The one that gets
And
set on
we'll
fire
have-
attacks. Everything's going to change. I love everything about this. Except for the fact that you can't go any further because the track is obstructed. You can actually see the obstruction of the way the cart is designed to slow down. It's not designed to go right up to where the obstruction happened. That's a great way to have the cart get crushed by the obstruction getting larger.
Is it safe to get out? I remember something about air tanks.
It is currently safe to get out. Matter of fact, so far as you know, you were never underwater. You weren't traveling through water. That would have affected your acceleration, most likely.
Oh, right.
Although at the speed you
Okay.
were going, maybe it wouldn't have.
Yeah, maybe we would have crashed into something. I mean, if you hit water, it's a problem.
You hit water with enough force, it'll vaporize.
Yeah, but if you don't hit water with enough force, it'll splat. It's very hard when you hit it from enough high up, like the worst belly flop in the world.
Look, the pre-ride physics lesson you were given was from Ertos.
That's what I'm afraid of.
But you're not dead yet.
True.
Probably.
Well, the cobots wouldn't want their helms to be splatted either, so
Was that a light?
we should probably...
I mean, it's not there now, but for the briefest of moments, it looked like there was a light down the tunnel.
Well, something must be there.
I guess we should be real quiet when we get out of this.
No, there it is again.
Can I see anything?
It was just a brief flash. It lit up the tunnel. The tunnel looked like the same tunnel you've been looking at for a full day. So whatever the source of the light, it was bouncing off of walls to come down here. It didn't actually reach all the way down here. It didn't light up anything where you are. You could just see it off in the distance. Like if you're out in the middle of the woods and some of the flashlight is like a half mile that way, you can sort of see the lights of the trees, but you don't see the flashlight or the person. Just that someone is messing with their night vision. This light sort of had a bluish tint to it, but other than that, that was it.
Does the tunnel continue without change for 120 feet?
For 120 feet, the tunnel does not change. As a matter of fact, right now, you're at a part of the tunnel that is level. It is not angling up anymore.
So we don't know who's out there or if it's like some kind of signal for the cart.
Well, there's the light again.
I believe we are going to have to get out.
It's not happening regularly. The amount of time between the first flash and the second flash is not the same as the second flash and the third flash.
Yeah, I'm getting out of the cart.
So
Yeah.
sorry, and I have a question on Channel Divinity. How many Channel Divinities do I get in a day?
It depends on your level.
On the actions section of your character sheet, there should be a set of checkboxes.
I'm loading up the character sheet now.
I don't have a checkbox for Channel Divinity for either of my Channel Divins, or at least not on the all section. About the action?
It's at the bottom.
You get 1 per short rest.
I thought that was just showing that as the breath weapon.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
there
some
it is.
reason, Channel Divinity...
All the way
yeah.
at the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not actually loading how many times that is. Okay, there it is. I have to click on the bloody thing. Start choose such effects. I must choose which one. A short or long rest to use Channel Divinity again.
Oh, I forgot. That's the subclass you pick. Oh, that could be interesting.
I forget which subclass it is. It's the one that... But it's the one that creates an illusion.
Yes, you can...
Trickery.
Hmm?
Trickery.
Right.
Yeah. You can evoke duplicity.
Yep.
Chris had a lot of
That's-
fun with that.
I think that Sori would like to creep up a bit on this flashing light location and then invoke duplicity and move a Sori illusion 120 feet in front of us as we approach.
Okay.
I only get it for a minute, so I want to get relatively close and put... She would like to explain that she can make an illusion of herself, and she thinks the illusion should go first into wherever the light is, so that if it's hostile and vaporizes anything, it vaporizes the illusion.
Okay, so illusion Sori walks into the light.
Yeah, basically.
I strongly suggest that since I can see twice as far as anybody else, you let me go first.
Not into the light.
No, not into the light. Just until
Also-
something changes in the tunnel.
Also,
Okay.
the light is not constant. It's brief flashes.
Okay, you can go first, but I want to go second because when we get to where we need to send something to go look, it should be an illusion, not me. Or you. Or anybody. Because then I'd have to use, like, healing stuff.
So this is what we're doing now?
Yeah, Maury, unless you want to stay in the cart, and if we don't come back in enough time, you could press the button and go back.
No, what I want to do, I can't do. So I guess this is fine now.
Sorry.
We'll just head down the strange tunnel on another continent
Mhm.
towards a flashing light.
That we shouldn't go into because it might be dangerous.
I've not known you very long, but I want to argue with the word might.
There's a chance it might not be dangerous.
I want to argue with the word not.
Okay.
This conversation
mean-
is happening while you're walking.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And after a while, you start to notice the tunnel is starting to feel more humid.
Oh, warm. Warm is good.
Is it warm or is it just wet?
I don't know.
The temperature hasn't changed so much, but it's definitely there's like condensation on the walls.
Concerning.
The floor is in some places there's small puddles. There's mold. Not so much mold, more moss. There's moss growing on things. And that could be a patch of mushrooms over there.
I wouldn't eat those.
And there's another flash. And that was a boom.
Someone shooting off
We don't have
fireworks?
no war out there.
No, just the microphone's in the shot. From the top.
I'm almost certain that Deza has inspiration. But if she doesn't, she does. But yes, that was definitely a boom sound that was accompanying the flash. And there was, in fact, an ah, but it wasn't a savior of the universe. It was more of a, we're all going to die.
Someone. These are not the fireworks we're looking for, but I think we need to go carefully.
Maybe they ran out.
Maybe someone's trying to blow open the obstruction so that carts can get through?
That sounds like a kobold thing to do.
And perhaps therefore also a cobalt thing to do.
We don't know how many places might have jumped out with some kind of safety bubble.
I don't know.
We were pretty high up. Someone could have landed on another continent, maybe.
Deza, you see the end of the tunnel.
Okay, neat.
Yeah.
I communicate this to everybody else.
Oh,
The tunnel
So we just go over there.
the tunnel
No.
doesn't stop at a wall.
No?
The tunnel just stops being there.
What's outside the tunnel?
At this distance, empty space. But I'm assuming you're all continuing to move forward.
Yeah, carefully. Oh, maybe it's lightning.
Well, the flashes and booms are still happening, again at irregular intervals. As you get closer, the tunnel looks like it's opening up into some type of canyon, perhaps. There's light sources at the top of it. From your angle, it's hard to see. You can't see all the way down to the bottom, but you think you can see light sources on a ridge on the other side of whatever chasm is there. And then you get closer, and you can see that it is, in fact, a mostly circular crater that the tunnel empties into. Some of the pipes that are built into the tunnel wall are letting out a somewhat steady flow of water that's pouring into the bottom of this crater, creating a mostly circular pond or lake. And there's plant life all over the place. Some of it is on fire. That might need to be addressed. Not sure it's your problem, but it is a problem. And as you're marveling at this, the flames are giving some degree of light, which illuminates something large and blue swooping overhead, just in time for you to hear another crack of thunder and more screams. And we've been playing for close to an hour.
Bombing the area.
Blue dragon, probably.
It may have even done a barrel roll.
With lightning spitting.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But we've been playing for about an hour, so what do you say we take a short break?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And we are back. My coffee cup is empty, but I'll live. Thank you all for the sympathy that you have sent. There were many wonderful, heartwarming cards. The flowers were particularly nice.
But were they coffee flowers?
They were not.
Curse.
They were not. And, but I'm not going to complain. You know who will complain? Those people who are screaming. They're totally ungrateful after they've been given the gift of electricity by the blue dragon flying overhead and throwing lightning bolts at them. It's a variety of screams. Some are lower down, some are higher up. Some of them seem to be very nice singing voices. They're not singing currently, but you get them together and give them some sheet music. They might be able to work something out. At this particular angle, you cannot see them. None of the people who are screaming are currently coming over to the edge of the crater to wave down at you.
How far up is the edge of the crater?
From where you are right now, it's about 20 feet up. The crater goes down way further than that.
And there's a lake at the bottom?
There's a lake at the bottom.
I send Jana up and look through her eyes.
Okay. There seems to be an orchard. Your first thought is forest, but the trees are too evenly spaced for it to be a natural forest. So it's more likely an orchard. There are tents scattered throughout it, many of them currently on fire or knocked down. Lots of people running or cowering behind various trees. Some of them are clearly children, and every now and then the blue dragon swoops in for another pass and then swoops away again.
Okay. Do we have anyone who knows Mold Earth?
Yes. I know Mulder.
Time to make a ladder?
You cast Summon Stairs.
Yes, make summon stairs and have them pop out of the side with a nice little railing and we can just walk right up?
I would rather put a recess into the side, provide some measure of cover.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest, is make a ramp going up to the surface, I guess, perpendicular to the tunnel.
All through the tunnel.
Whichever way you do it, it'll be KOSHA-compliant stairs.
I didn't hear the first half of what you said.
All through the tunnel.
I think I still didn't hear the first half of what you said.
Have the stairs go through the tunnel, but the tunnel is lined with metal and stuff that you couldn't be able to mold earth through. You don't have mold metal, unfortunately. Your earthbenders, not metal benders.
How large is the blue dragon?
Hard to tell. It hasn't stopped moving, and it doesn't stay it's swooping down, doing a lightning strike, then swooping out of range again. So it's not spending a lot of time close.
Rude.
Perhaps better than the alternative.
Okay, point.
If we can't go through the wall of the tunnel, we can't go through the wall of the tunnel.
You
At the
cannot go
very
through
end
the
of
wall
it?
of the tunnel.
How much dirt is there at the very end of the tunnel where we are?
I'm
The
sorry.
tunnel's just sort of. Sorry?
I just want to get a concrete answer on this because two of you talked at the same time and I couldn't hear you.
You cannot go through the wall of the tunnel, but the wall of the tunnel ends abruptly, and then you have a crater.
Right.
And
Okay.
the material that
I
makes
was-
up most of the crater you can mold.
I was clarifying that we can't go through the wall of the tunnel. That's all I wanted to know.
All right.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Might I suggest make a ledge that comes out a little bit further via dirt, so there's a little landing platform, go sideways, and can we go up beside the tunnel? Make a tunnel beside the tunnel. Does this make sense, or do I need to draw something on my phone and make a picture?
I believe it makes sense.
Okay.
Basically, extend where we are so that we can walk around and make a quick U-turn and then tunnel upwards.
You
This
create
will
a
give
covered
me
walkway.
something- Yes.
Yeah.
This will give me something to do with the dirt that is pulled out of where we need to go.
Something like that. So without going into additional details, you use some stairs that weren't there before, but it's always a good idea to improve the resale value of any property you encounter. And congratulations, you are in the orchard. What's left of it?
Tunnel.
My suggestion is to pull all the people down into the tunnel.
Covered
Okay.
stairs. Yeah, and get them into the tunnel that we were driving on. Yes.
The closest
There's
people
all-
to you have not noticed you yet.
Does our mission objective include these people in any way?
It might. They might know a way around this thing so that we can get to the other side.
Fair enough.
Also,
Maury
there
has
are
already run off over towards the first group, which appears to be almost entirely children.
Oh, jeez.
exactly. We gotta get the kids
Okay.
undercover.
Okay, let's go find them.
She's bringing them your way. As soon as the kids see your group, they immediately run away from Maury in the other direction.
We should get away from there because we look like little dragons and they're worried. So come on, let's herd the kids back towards the thing so that Maury can gather them up again.
Well, we can try.
It occurs to me that the Circle of Tales base in Coomridge on the planet Circulus, where you are from,
Huh?
does daily sheep races.
Mm-hmm.
And your party has just decided collectively to be the kobold equivalent of sheepdogs.
I think Meeple's clan started that, which is my clan. So
Yep.
follow me.
Yep. That is what happened. Okay.
Herd the sheep.
Yep.
Um,
That's what we're doing.
By the way, for the record, when the little kids run away from Maury after she got them halfway to the tunnel, she looks over at you. She looks back at where they ran. She's not like huddling or trying to not be noticed. She's just standing there. She does a very obvious, at this distance you can't hear it, but she does a very obvious sigh
Wow.
and sort of just stalks off in the direction where the kids ran.
Out of the way so she can get the kids to safety.
Have the adults run off?
Well, we can
Everyone
try and-
has scattered. This was a small group of kids, but there's other kids elsewhere, most likely from what your familiars saw.
Come on, let's herd.
There's enough tens that this is a sizable community. It's just not evenly distributed.
Okay.
All right, let us see what we can do.
Okay. So
What are
follow
my
me,
fingers?
and we're gonna make like a line around them, and then just kind of walk them back to the thing.
All right. So here's what I want you to do.
Mhm.
Roll for initiative.
Ooh.
Uh,
Okay. I have 17 plus 3 for 20.
7.
2.
And whatever it was that I rolled. 14.
That die needs to go to dice jail.
Oh no.
Healer goes
was-
last.
Yeah.
And by that I mean Maury rolled a 1.
Oh.
I rolled a 1 also. I just happen to have a +1 to initiative.
Maury does
Okay.
not.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna start walking out towards the kids, but kind of slow, so I'm not like they don't think I'm attacking immediately or something like that. And then if everybody else kind of fans out around me, we can kind of herd around them and get them where we want them to go. Hopefully, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Animal handling?
Oh no. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, she is terrible at this, but she's gonna try. Oh, she got a 16 plus 1 for a 17 in animal handling.
Oh, but
Yeah. hmm Okay, this comes out to a
Something-
17.
There's something going on the back end. I don't see him either, but when I reload, then it shows up.
And it occurs to me that I didn't unmute since the last time I had a coughing fit, so people didn't hear things. But they were able to hear all of you. So that's fine. So basically, Utashi is doing an animal handling check, which I said, but no one heard. Well, no one in the recording. You all heard.
we all heard.
And what was that number you rolled? Was it 16 or 17?
17 total.
17. That's high enough. So the kids are still terrified of you, but they're running, and there's this convenient tunnel that they can use to escape you.
Yep. So I'm just kind of
So-
like waving my hands at them a little bit, like go, shoo, into the tunnel.
Yeah, in their mind's eye, you are raising a menacing claw to attack them as they quick run into this tunnel to easily escape you.
Okay, good. They'll be
Yes,
safe there, I
definitely.
hope. Yep.
Okay,
Somebody's got to stay with them so they don't come back out.
Deza, it is now your turn.
So Utashi's herding all of these children into the tunnel.
I am.
Well, one small group of children has been herded in the tunnel from Utashi's actions, yes.
So there's probably like 3 of them in there, I guess.
I am going to seek out another group.
Okay, you can see 120 feet in darkness. I am not going to require you to roll for you to spot another group. Yes, there's plenty.
And I am going to get within hearing range. Like not, I want to make sure they can hear my regular voice, not shouting or anything. And then I'm going to cast Enthrall.
Do you have group enthrall?
Creatures of my choice that I can see within range and that can hear me. Doesn't give me a limit.
There's different kinds of people. There's people who are like, I want to be your friend. Please go this way to be saved. Oh, you are afraid of me. I will herd you in this direction. I'm going to warp your minds. It's for your good. What
I'm
do I
going
need
to
to
give you
roll?
a fascinating archaeology lecture. Wisdom saving throw against a 13. Children, as we all know, are extremely wise.
That's a 3. It doesn't matter how wise they are. That's a 3 on the die.
Usually they're upset.
They could secretly be dragons.
True. That might be why the dragon is attacking, because there's a shape change dragon there and it's trying to get it back.
And
Look,
then
I don't know how you spotted me. I was on vacation.
Been a spiel long enough to get them to follow me into the tunnel.
All right.
Or at least to the tunnel, and then they tell them to go in.
They
There's
move
already other
towards the
kids
tunnel
in
at
there, so
speed.
it's safe. Sorry.
Quite all right. Longcap,
Yes.
what would you like to be doing?
I don't know what my party is doing. I would like to assist what it seems like the party is doing.
Herding humans into the tunnel we made.
Yes, I would like to assist with herding.
Okay.
I do not have any specific spells that would help this.
Well, all Utashi did was make sure she
Animal
was standing
handling.
in a spot where the tunnel was in the opposite direction from Utashi.
Yes.
That was enough to
Um,
encourage children to run.
And they go, just like sheep.
I am going to attempt to do similar.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check. Okay. So with a 6, you do encourage them to run, but they don't all run in the same direction. They are now scattered.
Mulder.
Technically, you got them to run because of your movement. So yes, you still have your action.
I would like to make difficult terrain.
They run, but not as far. I love this.
Direction that has the tunnel, so they should.
If I might, yes, and.
Yes?
Imagine, if you will, difficult terrain because you have created a half pipe that makes them go around a corner and now they're running towards the tunnel.
Yes,
I like that.
go in the direction of being saved, small mammals.
They thought they were.
It's dark. They can't see.
They're also 5.
Oh dear.
Well, some of them are. That
These
one
are-
turned 6 on
Longcap
Tuesday.
knows many 5-year-olds. They are adults.
These are more like 5-day-olds to kobolds, aren't they?
You are technically correct, which is the best form of correct, except when people are running from a blue dragon.
The other funny thing about this is that Longcap was not an adult at 5 years old, but the kobolds probably didn't know that.
Poor
I
Longcap.
now do not want to think about what choices 5-year-old Longcap made after being put in a position usually only kobold adults are given. Congratulations, you are ready to protect the clan. Here's your spear. Oh, that ended... What if we had you be a spellcaster? That might be better.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's... And turns out that was worse for a period of time before Longcap got better.
Oh, Oldest Kep was probably aware that that's how it worked. Oldest Kep probably had a spell or two, right?
Someone probably figured out that lizard folk don't mature at the same rate as kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the
Oldest
majority.
Cap.
And nobody knows how old Sori is because she's petite. And she doesn't remember.
Okay.
I'm not sure 5-year-old Longcap was aware that 5-year-old Longcap was not an adult.
That makes it better.
Kind of funny.
Well, it makes it better from a certain point of view.
Their benchmark was kobolds.
Cobalt
So kobolds are
software
5,
on lizard
you
folk
know.
hardware.
Yeah.
Yep.
They figured that I do not think that a lizard folk that is, I believe, halfway to adulthood is necessarily more lacking in common sense than the average kobold adult.
Not the way I play them.
Same.
Exactly.
And I'm off track.
That is so unusual for anyone in this group to be off track. Definitely never me. Not at this moment specifically. It's the Blue Dragon's turn. Okay. Let's see. Longcap, could you do me a favor? Could you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Longcap says, that's the save I thought you wanted.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted.
I did.
Yes, because you heard me talking over here and not in your headphones.
Correct.
What makes this even funnier is when I edit, I cut out all the silences.
Nice.
That's a nat 20.
Wow.
Well
Plus
done.
+2.
Well, nat 20, you automatically succeed. Well, I've got some great news. It's going to
Is
be
that
a
the
while
DC?
before the blue dragon can recharge its lightning breath.
Oh, good. Half damage?
That's the bad news. You're still going to take some damage.
The good news is that it will be 1/4 damage because I have absorb elements.
Okay. So that is 27 points of lightning damage, but reduce that by half again. So that is
13.
13 points of lightning damage.
Oh.
And for a brief moment, we have a clear picture of your skeletal structure.
That was originally 52 points of damage.
55. I may have mathed wrong.
No,
But it
that
was-
sounds right.
It was originally 55.
Yes, a couple of points were presumably lost in rounding down, so
Correct.
reverse engineering did not produce the actual number.
Welcome to Math the Podcast, which is essentially every D&D podcast.
Mhm.
Every single one of them. My favorite joke about D&D was the suspicious mom who listens in on the kids playing Dungeons and Dragons and just after about half an hour goes, "This is just math," and storms away.
This is true.
I love everything about this. All right, so yes, Longcap just got hit by lightning. The tree that was next to Longcap is now a burning bush.
Hopefully without any revelations about religion.
Longcap, mold earth 2 tablets. Put on them the following rules. Thou shalt be off topic. The second rule is, I don't know, it's going to be something about cheese, I guess.
Bacon?
Did I tell you a
Probably.
funny story about this one time where...
No.
Okay, so apparently the Kevin of this world is a deity.
Well, he wasn't going to be. Because the other deities actually try to kill anyone who starts to ascend. This has already
Sure.
been established.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. They founded not one, but 5 different religions on this principle.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't think we've had it stated necessarily that one of those deities is not a Kevin.
Fair. Anyway, that is what the blue dragon did on its turn. Sorry.
Sorry is going to run over to Longkep and do Cure Wounds boosted as a 2nd level spell.
I don't think it needs to be boosted. I'm at 23 of 36 hit points.
Oh, okay.
I should make sure that I actually properly hit points. Okay, yes, I actually properly hit points. Anyway.
Okay, just checking. Maximum and current hit points increased by 5. Okay, I have a question on aid for the DM.
Sure.
It says each target's hit point maximum and current hit points increase by 5 for the duration. Does that doesn't mean that they get 5 hit points healed or anything? That just means temporary plus
Your hit
5.
points max increases by 5, and also you gain those 5 hit points is how I would interpret it.
Okay.
So
That's
like if your max is 27, congratulations, now your max is 32 or whatever max.
And you got 'em.
Card. And also your current hit points, if you had a full tank, is 32.
Okay, so that one's probably not useful at this moment. I think, however, a 1st level Cure Wounds run over and hit Longkep with Cure Wounds. I will cast that. And that makes that dot go. Yes, that made that dot go. And I will hit the thing. Unless the GM tells me I shouldn't. Ooh, nice. Max.
How many?
11. 8 plus 3.
All right, I am nearly back up to max.
Now, the GM was not going to tell you couldn't, but at the same time,
Oh, sorry.
the GM was not going to tell you couldn't.
Oh.
But at the same time, it's rather cheeky of you to say, unless the GM tells me I can't, when you already know the GM is frequently hitting the mute button to cough.
That part. I'll take that into consideration in later tactics.
Hold on.
What, where? I heard Jen say, hold on.
And they're now muted.
Well, while Jen's doing that, I will have Maury go, because it is Maury's turn. Because Maury rolled worse than anyone else.
That took talent, considering I rolled a 1.
So did Maury, but you have a dexterity bonus.
Mm,
Maury is fed up.
ballad of her.
Maury is going to cast Ray of Sickness. Ray of Sickness is one of the spells that Maury has because of her subclass, where the only reason she has it is because the subclass just gives it to her.
Oops.
But she's got it, so she's going to use it. And that is a nat 20.
Wow.
Well, she was fed up.
I'd already hit the button to cast it at 2nd level. So that doubles the dice. 23 points.
Hope that's not on us and is instead on the annoying dragon.
Why, yes, Maury's had enough. She's just going to attack her allies. No, she is attacking the blue dragon. A ray of sickening greenish energy lashes out towards a creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack. On a hit, the target takes poison damage and must make a Constitution saving throw. So, blue dragon, con save. Blue dragons are known for being very weak.
Mm.
That's an 18. That's probably higher than was needed. Yeah, that beats it.
Half damage? Or is that just...
On a failed save, it is also poisoned to the end of your next turn. So the blue dragon is not poisoned, but it takes poison damage.
Oh no, the mammals are attacking. The mammals are attacking.
We've traced the mammal. It's coming from inside your party. Utashi, it is your turn.
Okay. Are there any more little kids running around scared?
Oh, you could spend the rest of this evening herding children, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go towards the next group and kind of wave my hands at them and see if I can get them to go run into the cave that we made.
Give me an animal handling check.
Handling. This is so weird.
I appreciate that I'm throwing a blue dragon at you, but this is not an encounter where everyone is focusing on the blue dragon because there's other elements in play.
Mhm.
I
So-
mean, I kind of assumed that we weren't capable of focusing on the blue dragon.
Probably.
So
I got,
basically, what I've done is I've created
Enough.
ADD&D.
You did. You did.
No, I mean, I kind of assumed that this was like an adult blue that a level 4 party could not possibly hope to fight, considering that it just did 55 damage to that would have one-shot me hard enough that I got close to the massive damage roll if I'd taken all the damage. Like, I don't.
So you're saying it's only an adult? Okay.
We're hoping for smaller. We're hoping for smaller. That just rolled real well.
All right, I got a 16 on animal handling.
You have successfully made more children run away from you.
Are they running towards where I want them to go
Sure.
now? Oh. All right.
Which I would have said yes, but the out of context quote makes more sense for me to say sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Right.
planning ahead towards how I'm going to promote this on social media. Not that anyone pays attention to my social media, but never mind
Do?
about that.
Pay attention to your social media, at least periodically.
I think that's all I can do.
Deza,
I am genuinely unsure about the best thing to do right now.
as a DM, I consider that to be high praise.
You just said we can run around hurting children all night, but
Yes, and there could very well be an RP benefit for doing so. Or maybe they'll all hate you because you're small lizard people and weird dogs.
I am going to continue to draw the children I had enthralled down into the tunnel
Okay?
and group them up with the children that are already there.
The group appears to be getting larger, and not just necessarily through the efforts of your party. Others have started noticing people running in that direction.
I am going to try and play. Oh, enthrall lasts for a minute, which is I can never remember whether a minute is 10 6-second rounds or 6 10-second rounds.
My brain just had a moment. Say that again.
Same.
Around is 6 seconds.
Thank
Round
you.
is 6 seconds. Okay, so there are 10 rounds per minute. That's what I thought.
They turned it decimal. They turned it base 10. 10 rounds per minute.
In that regards, yes, but because minutes are not base 10, it's 6 seconds.
But they made the units into rounds, and minutes are things that are in Okay, yeah, okay.
Always been that way though.
They made combat base 10. No, that's clever.
Okay. All right. Point being, I can make enthrall last for 10 rounds if I need to. But what I want to do is show the other kids that there's a group of kids who are paying attention to me calmly. I can't enthrall anybody else, not without dropping the first spell.
So what you want to do is you want to make sure the rest of the kids who are not enthralled understand that you have convinced some children that you are not an evil monster here to devour them all.
Right.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check at advantage.
That's a 21.
Congratulations, you're not now a part of the tribe, but at least they're not all trying to run from you when you are there among them.
Great.
Also, this tunnel does not currently have a blue dragon throwing lightning at them, so it's a nice place. They could live here. Anything else?
All right. No, that's what I'm. No, actually, hang on a second. I want to double check something real quick.
What's really neat is I have a push to talk button for when I want to talk to my friends, but I have a mute button for OBS, and I've been having to use both of them frequently, and every now and then I confuse the two,
No.
That's not good.
which is really weird because one of them I have to click with the mouse and the other one I hold down with the finger on the keyboard. They are very different buttons.
You
True.
would think, but it's the pushy gesture. Your muscle memory is confused.
What did Longkept do last turn?
Rail did animal handling and used mold earth.
Okay. I am going to send Jonah to help you. So using Jonah's help, you get advantage on your next ability check.
Technically, Smallest Kep could also use the help action, but I cannot think of any conceivable way in which Smallest Kep could help.
Emotional support. Which is
Smallest?
particularly funny since emotion is not necessarily something that most lizard folk are known for.
Smallest kept emotional support skeleton.
Anyway, I appreciated the assistance from a familiar that can actually assist.
In fact, since we're trying to corral children with fright, I would say a familiar who's a pseudo-dragon might be especially apt.
The pseudo-dragon flies in to scare the children. They immediately go, "Oh, so cute," and try to give it head scratches.
Why don't you just lead him in?
It spreads its wings and screams at them like, "No, fear me, I am death." Oh, it thinks it's people. My uncle says, "Fear me, I am death," all the time.
It's an escaped pet. It must be repeating what the big one said. Aww.
Also, I appreciate that pseudo-dragon telepathy is mostly communicating with, like, sending emotions into your head. Emotions and concepts, not necessarily words. Some DMs play it otherwise, but...
True. So Jana could be sending, calm, orderly down the tunnel.
Single file, hip and lip, catch a bubble. Sorry, I'm going into teacher mode here.
Everybody hold on to the rope.
Yes!
Yep.
I love everything about this. So, Longcap, whatever you want to do, you have assistance currently.
It is my turn.
Well, I'm assuming Deza's done.
Dezaz's not contradicting this that I can hear.
I said yes.
Okay,
Okay.
I did not hear it.
I didn't hear it either. But now we know.
So what does Longcap
Small
do?
mammals, if you wish to survive, you will go in that direction where there is not lightning.
Calm, orderly, hold the rope.
Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. If you don't want to die, go this way.
Calmly.
But nice and calmly. But also, no lightning is in that direction.
We come in peace. Shoot to kill. Shoot to kill.
This
We
is
come in.
this is my headcanon. As Longcap is saying this, Longcap is still like, because the last lightning strike hit Longcap.
Bouldering.
Longcap still has a few bits of like lightning coursing around because, the whole absorb elements. Visually, I think this works. So having Longcap say, there isn't lightning in that direction, away from Longcap, might actually work in Longcap's favor. Give me animal handling at advantage.
And with assistance from the pseudo-dragon.
Which, that's why the advantage, yes.
Okay.
With a
Ooh.
21, a sizable number of children and adults, pretty much everyone who was within earshot of you, starts making a beeline for the tunnel. Or lizard line. Could have been a lizard line.
Single
What's
file to
that?
hide their steps.
No,
Is that-
no, it's a crowd.
It's a crowd. Okay.
That was my action.
No, that was you talking. That's your free action.
All right. How far up is the dragon?
Well, it just did a lightning breath, then got hit by Mori. It hasn't had its turn yet, so it is... 1 second. How far away is Mori? I'd say it's within 50 feet of you.
Okay, but is it like 50 feet up?
Yes.
Oh.
Longcap does not get to ride the dragon. I mean, not with that attitude, but still.
Bird just made the saddest
I
noise upon
mean,
hearing
there's
that.
not much
Never mind.
useful I can do from this range. Longcap casts borrowed knowledge to give themselves proficiency in animal handling.
Okay. It is the blue dragon's turn. The blue dragon was hit with a poison blast. That was the first damage the dragon's taken since it started attacking the settlement. It doesn't like that. Now the good news is I rolled to recharge the breath weapon and I got a 1. So nope,
How long does that out of commission if it crit failed its recharge? Is it coughing?
it doesn't change anything mechanically. I just get to roll again next turn.
Curses.
That's how it feels about this whole situation, yes.
Always
It,
leave.
it is going to use its movement to fly over to the tunnel and
Oh, no.
land on it.
Oh no.
It spreads its wings and roars at you. Now, if I remember correctly, Deza, you are in the tunnel, right?
Yes.
I'm going to say that Deza is in the part of the tunnel that has like the metal lining because you wouldn't be leading them down into the covered stairway and saying, yes, this area that's made of dirt is going to protect you.
Mm.
You'd probably be leading them further down. which means you are not where things get squished, nor are the children that you were protecting.
Oh, good.
But I'm not going to squish you right now. Not this moment, anyway. However, this method of egress is no longer available to the people who were running in that direction. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Okay.
Sori gets turned next after, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because Sori has plans.
Because you got initiative 2.
Yeah.
The Blue Dragon got initiative 3.
Oh,
wow.
I rolled very poorly tonight.
Griffin.
But thank you everyone for playing. Thank you everyone for listening. My name is Crash. I was your DM for the evening. I'm also Spartacus, apparently. Because today is a day where some stuff happened on Mastodon where everyone decided they were going to be Spartacus. Which is why I thought it was funny. Tonight I was joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. Who wants to plug a thing?
Io's mom writes books at elizabeth-mccoy.com, and they're ebooks, and they're pretty cheap, so you can ask your local library to please order them as ebooks, and then you can read them with a free app like Libby. And speaking of books...
My website is bookofjen.net. It doesn't have a lot of new things on there, but it is getting a lot of people that look up some of my Diablo videos to see how to do stuff in Diablo 3 for the most part. So that's there, and I'm working on some longer form things that'll get there when they get there. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which is at shatteredsoulstone.com, and a new episode comes out roughly every week. We took a week off for, the holidays, and yeah, that's about it.
And speaking of websites...
Hey, I was pinning the comment you made about what you're planning to do next session. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So you don't forget.
Uh-huh. Thank you.
And it looks like I pinned it in, and Ellie pinned it at the same time. Or, oh wait, no, Ellie was pinning the comment about initiative order.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Very
idea.
clever.
All right. So, oh yeah, we do have a Patreon.
Right.
In case you're interested, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. You could help us keep the lights on. There are some people who are doing that for us, which we really appreciate, including Chris, Ellie, Eric, Shen, Walter, and patron emeritus Cindy. So until next time, this is Crash saying the dragon would like to talk to you about your contract for power, because there are many green options for electricity that it would like you to totally ignore altogether, because that would be a green dragon, not a blue one. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.